Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Today I'm going to make a reverse dyed diamond shirt. I'm beginning with a shirt that's been washed but hasn't been soaked in anything, so it's just damp with plain water out of the washing machine. I have the shirt turned inside out as well. I know it's kind of difficult to tell, but this is a navy blue shirt. It's not black, which is what I normally use when I do reverse dyeing. I'm going to begin by centering the shirt. And this part's going to go really fast. So down below in the description for this video is a link to another video which shows how to center a shirt. Okay, so now I'm ready to tie the diamond. I'm grabbing the bottom hem of the shirt and I'm going to fold it up past the top of the shirt. So I'm going a little bit past the sleeve and the neck of the shirt. I'm going to do that because I'd like the diamond to sit up a little bit higher on the shirt. If I fold it exactly in half, the diamond's going to be a little bit lower on the shirt. The left-hand side of the shirt is the center line. And using a straight edge and a piece of chalk, I'm going to draw a diagonal line from the center line down to that fold that we just made, and this is going to be one of the lines of the diamond. I'm going to fan fold this line and tie it with sinew. As I've mentioned several times, whenever I reverse dye, I use sinew when I make my ties. The wax coating on the sinew protects the shirt underneath from having the dye removed from that area. So in the reverse dye process, I tie lots of sinew lines where I want the original color of the shirt to remain. So that's what I'm going to do on this shirt. I'm going to continue fan folding out toward the center of the diamond, and I'm trying to make the lines closer together the further I get to the very middle of the diamond. The effect that I'm kind of wanting to make on this shirt is from this initial line that I drew and tied with sinew, I want to make the lines get smaller as they go in toward the center of the diamond, and I want them to get larger or further apart as I go away from that initial line. So I'm just going to continue the folds and adding sinew lines. Okay, so now I'm going to use the White Brite Laundry Whitener product to remove the color from the portion of this shirt that I didn't tie with sinew. I'm removing the color from several other shirts at the same time, so I've placed them all down inside of a plastic tote, and I'm beginning by sprinkling the out on top of all the shirts. I'm doing this process outside because the product does have a smell, and I'm also wearing my respirator because it's a very fine powder and I don't want to inhale it. This shirt is the shirt at the top of the video. I'm going to pour boiling hot water over the top of the out, and as you can tell, the minute the hot water hits the out product, it immediately starts to remove the dye from the shirt. I don't have quite enough water in this pan to cover the shirts, so I'm going to add another pan of boiling hot water to the top. Then I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more of the out product, just so that I make sure I get most of the dye out of the shirt. This process goes really fast. I think from beginning to end, it took maybe 5 to 7 minutes total. I checked a couple of the folds before I rinsed the shirts out just to make sure I was happy with how much of the color had been removed. Then I took the shirts to the sink and I rinsed them out in some cool water. I went ahead and left this one tied and just put it in the washing machine along with the rest of the shirts and washed them with a little bit of Dharma's textile detergent and hot water. Then I pulled the shirt out of the washing machine and put it into a soda ash solution to allow it to soak for 20 to 30 minutes. Normally, whenever a shirt like this has been reverse dyed and I've used a product in it like out, I don't stick the shirt down into my actual soda ash solution. I will put it inside of a bucket and pour some of the soda ash solution over the top. Sometimes these shirts can still release part of the dye even after they've been washed for the first few times. So I don't like to have any of that inside of my soda ash solution. I like to keep my actual soda ash solution nice and clean and as contaminant free as I can. Then I spun the shirt out on my Panda spin dryer and I set it aside to allow it to dry out. As you can tell, I have a little bit of a different setup. I have quite a lot of dye colors that I've used on other shirts, but I don't have a whole lot of any one of the colors. So I'm just going to do a cleanup shirt with the dye. I've made a little boat for the shirt out of aluminum foil, and I've put the shirt inside of the aluminum foil and then put that down inside of a plastic tub or tote. I'm also going to mix some of the dye colors together. I've already mixed plum and grape from Dharma together. I'm also not going to use the lines as definite lines for where I apply the dye. I'm starting right on the very end with bubble gum from Pro Chemical and Dye, and I'm going to make a couple more lines of that down the shirt. I'm going to add the plum and grape combination as well, and I'm going to do several lines of it too. I'm using Caribbean Blue from Dharma. Here again, I'm being pretty free with the design of this shirt. I'm not being real specific about where I put the colors. This is a pretty thick fold, so I'm adding a fairly generous amount of dye to the shirt. The next color is Red Violet from Dharma, Tropical Dream from Dharma, doing a little bit of touch up on the bubble gum. I have some Royal Blue I'm going to add further down the shirt. By the way, I had to do a little bit of touch up. Some of the sinew kind of frazzled or frayed a little bit, so I had to add a couple of rubber bands to this end part of the shirt, and then the very center of the shirt, or the very center of the diamond, several of those sinew pieces came undone too. They were really close together and it was kind of hard to pull them tight, so it doesn't surprise me that they came undone. I mixed the red violet in with the plum and grape combination, and I'm applying that to the shirt too. Now I'm going to pour the Tropical Dream and the Caribbean Blue together and apply that to that last area. I always think it's fun to make a cleanup shirt. I like to see what happens when you just kind of mix colors together and put them on a shirt and experiment, see what the shirt ends up looking like. A lot of times, some of the cleanup shirts end up being some of my favorite shirts. So I have the front side of the shirt dyed, but I don't have enough of any one color to put on the back. So I'm going to kind of use all the colors on the back. I'm starting with red number 9 from Grateful Dyes and Spanish Carmine from Custom Colors. I'm going to pour those into this aluminum foil boat that I've made. That will allow the shirt to sit in all of these dye colors. I ran out of those two colors, so now I'm using some Imperial Purple from Dharma Trading Company. The rest of the bubble gum that we had left over. And I have a little bit of Power Berry from Dharma, which I'm going to put in there. I went ahead and just set the shirt aside and allowed it to process for about 48 hours. Then I took it to my utility sink and I began rinsing it in cold water. I'm rinsing it in cold water to begin with to rinse out the soda ash. Once I've rinsed the soda ash out of the shirt, I don't have to be as concerned about the shirt picking up other colors or back staining. It can still happen, but it's not as likely as if the shirt is still full of soda ash. Then I gradually warm the water up to hot, and I keep rinsing to rinse out all of the excess dye that didn't bond with the fabric. Some colors are a little bit more difficult to rinse out than others and take a little bit more time and rinse time. So instead of just sitting and continually rinsing at the sink, what I'll do is go ahead and untie the shirt and add a little bit of hot water to my sink, put a small squirt of Blue Dawn dish detergent down into the sink. This will help keep any of that dye from back staining onto the shirt. Then I just allow the shirt to soak for a while. When the water cools off, I change it out and continue that soaking process until the water is almost clear. Then I put the shirt in the washing machine and I go ahead and wash it using hot water and a little bit of Dharma's textile detergent. And then I dry it in the dryer. After it's washed and dried, this is what our shirt looks like. So all I can say about this shirt is, wow, I really like the way this shirt turned out. Remember how I mentioned that some of the sinew lines right in the middle or the center of the diamond had come untied? Well, so that's the reason why we don't really have any dark lines left right in the middle. But I like the effect of the lines getting larger the further you go away from the center. I think that looks really cool. I also love the color combination with this dark navy shirt. I think those dark lines just really set some of these bright colors apart. The reds and the dark purples that I poured into the back also add a lot to the shirt. I think that red at the top and the bottom adds a lot of interest. The colors of this shirt also remind me a lot of space. And I think with the lines getting larger as you go further out toward the edge of the shirt, it kind of looks like an explosion. So I think this kind of looks like something exploding in space or a space explosion. Anyway, I just think it looks really cool. I really love this shirt. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, I sure would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. All you have to do is hit the big red subscribe button. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.